Confirm this isn't. Okay, sorry about that. I just wanted to confirm a thumbnail. I know I'm using a wrong thumbnail, but it's fine. So as for my long-term trading, the GU trade is looking quite well. It's looking quite good. Look, I'm gonna trim my stop loss. I'm gonna trim it live with you. I'm gonna trim it to that low. If you want, you can trim it to profit, but I wanna trim it to that low, just the risk a bit, and then. So the reason being is I just want to see if will this hold as support, will that hold as resistance area, and we get a move like that where we come retest that and we look for continuation lower. I want to see that for me to say confidently to say no. I want basically what I'm saying is I want to see a low being formed, and then after that low has been formed, I'm gonna move my stop loss to that low. Until then, I am gonna hold on to this trade with just stop loss trailed a bit to profit. Um, I'm gonna move my stop loss here. Let me move it with you. Let's see. Okay, yeah. As I said, that's it. What I'm gonna trim my stop loss to. So I'm gonna trim to that low. So in another way, half of the position, it's just take. I've just the risk about half. I'm hoping that it takes out this low, react on that low, hold that support, and we look for continuation lower. That will be lovely. That will be lovely. So yeah, the trade is looking clean, man. I shouldn't lie to you. And I've already spoken about why am I short. And if you want to know why am I short on this trade, here is your answer. Here's your answer. GU is the most bearish one. And if we just look at its, just let's focus on GU. Let's just focus on GU and show you exactly why I took GU. A Forex scorecard. I just need the scorecard for you just to show you exactly why I decided to short it. Here is a scorecard. Euro USD came back to bearish. Still bearish, just minus plus minus one. Let's look at GU. Here's GU. Here's a scorecard for GU. It's a -7. Yes, the overall sentiments are becoming very bearish, but I'm still good with it. I'm still gonna hold it, and the reason being is I don't see it becoming still a neutral reading on a hedge fund. When you look at the technicals, seasonality, it looks as if it's bullish. It is bullish seasonality. However, let's look at institutional positioning, net positioning, and we'll notice also what the report that will came out today. And then I'm going to speak about it on my Monday, where we were and where we are in terms of institutional positioning. Institutional positioning, this is supposed to be bearish. Can be neutral. There's something wrong. I need to report this. So, institutional positioning, It's bearish, weekly bearish change, that's bearish. Retail sentiment is still bearish, crowd is bullish. The scoring here. But anyway, we know that. But economic growth, service PMI, service PMI, retail sales, and consumer confidence is bearish for GU as an economy. The British in Britain, the UK economy, and on its own, it's really bearish. There's growth concern happening there. And one of those things that where I did check, and besides the scorecard, where I did check clearly, and I was so convinced that I am still gonna be bearish for this pay. I think until then, here we go. Yeah, service PMI. Okay, unemployment rate. We see unemployment rate it's increasing. PPI. We gotta miss the CPI. Inflation still neutral. Oh, sorry. Inflation is still neutral, but then you see retail sales, we got a bullish one, but everything else, GDP growth, service PMI, they're all bearish. While the GU is doing well in terms of inflation, however, it's doing bad. US is doing bad in terms of the labor market. And I think we've discussed the US over and over again how the only problem that US has is the labor market. The rest, I think, it's doing quite well. If we're to look at here, the most bearish one is GU. Come, let's speak about the US market, right? Unemployment rate, we got a whipping out of it. That was very bearish for the dollar. The dollar, yes, has a lot of bit of strength because of the labor market. The labor market, it's becoming problematic in the US. However, inflation is a problem. With the war, that will be very bullish for the currency. So the Feds are caught up in between. Do we save the labor market or do we remain restrictive? To an extent that we don't increase or decrease, we just remain restrictive. We keep the interest rate at high point where it is, just until we see what's going to happen on the market. Because they rush to cut, they're gonna have a problem. If they rush to cut, they're gonna have a problem. But anyway, everything else we seem to be bearish for it. GDP growth, that was bearish for the currency. We saw that the forecast was, in fact, we got, oh Christ, forecast was 1.4. We got a 0.7. That was bad. That's a minus 0.7 miss in GDP growth. So there is still growth concern in the US, but comparing the two, GU is taking a big hit. And this is also, it's when you look at the Eurozone, British pound, with its counter friend, the GU, the Euro zone as well, we have a problem with, yes, the currency itself is becoming bullish, I suppose. We look at the GDP growth, we got a miss there, but the problem is CPI. I'm gonna look at CPI directly. The problem in the Eurozone, it's inflation. Inflation is too low that there is growth concern. It's more like deflation of some sort. The more it goes lower, there'll be more confirmation that there are likely to be deflections. And if there's deflections, the only way that can be bearish is if the Fed decide to cut rates, right? If the euro decides to cut rates to save the inflation to just to produce good consumer confidence. Oh, today I can speak. To have good consumer confidence. Basically to enhance consumer spending. That's what I wanted. To enhance consumer spending. That is why, in general, I am what? I am very still and bullish for dollar. Hey, I hope you understand why I went short here. I was looking for longs here, nothing. I'm gonna look if it retraces all the way down, and also AUDJPY. My limit are sells for AUD This has been a beast, should be honest. But let's wait and see. So AUD So my limits are set here. Oh shucks. Okay, I'll have to delete this limit. This is gone. Looking for AUDSD, sorry. Should I take a trade here? Let me think. Let's look at the macro. Let's look at the asset score first. Aussie is very bullish, yes. Confirmatory bullish, Aussie. The reason why I was a bit skeptical was because of the gold movement, where the gold movement was. Aussie is very bullish, with no questions about it. GDP growth got good GDP growth. Unemployment rate came down. That was bullish for the currency. Inflation is high and it's getting higher, and that's very bullish for Aussie, with the Reserve Bank expected to increase rates. And once they increase rates, we know that's very bullish for Aussie. So I might definitely 83. Let's look at you as I might take long. I might take long on the pair that I was talking on AU 55. Okay. Might take long. Might add a limit on the support, yeah. I'm thinking I'm gonna wait for the Monday open. But for the day trading, there seem to be movement, yeah. We've closed lower. Can I get a continuation lower? That's what I want to say. Yep. I'm gonna wait for this five closure. If the five closes, I'm gonna wait for a retest there to look for a trade. Something like this. That's my plan. The trade does come up. Just gonna be watching. I'm not gonna just jump. Let me see here. Oh, okay. I'm tempted to jump. Just gonna wait for this 50. Okay. Set up my limit, sorry. Setting up my limit, sorry. Not far from my entry. Still not yet entered, by the way. It will be very painful if it just rejects here and not take me in. We seem to be rejecting. Yep, we seem to be rejecting. That's like no, I'm happy with my entry where it is. Yes, we have this 1 minute, yeah. But I have a plan. I'm gonna stick to my plan. It might reject from there, by the way. Yeah, seems like it's rejecting without me. Once it closed below this low, I don't think it's worth keeping my limit. About to be taken in, but we'll see if we get taken in here. Let me see here. Gonna jump in here. Come on, take me in. It's rejecting this thing. Come on. Oh, shucks. I'm just gonna execute manually. Oh, Christ. I don't know. I'm very slow. Oh, okay. I went in lower. I'm on a trade. I'll show you where I entered. So this is why I jumped in at stop loss below. I know it can still come back higher, but I just decided to jump in there. Yeah, I'm on a trade. So at this point, now I'm supposed to be on a trade officially. This will be my break-even point. It's stupid sometimes. I know. So I'm on a trade. Just wanna see if this will play out, man. Look at that rejection. Can we broke lower? That's a question that is still everywhere, yeah. Can we start flashing lower? That's the biggest question, I guess. Mhm. If by half past nothing has happened to this trade, I am gonna leave, just wait for the power hour and then cut it. I love for it to flash lower, man. Love for it because 5 minutes are rating at the 50% of the five. That would be a good entry, by the way. I don't have any complaints with my entry. I entered $10 away from my entry. So so it's a Friday. Sometimes why you don't have to hold on for long, man. Yeah, still okay. Hmm? Can close the door. Yeah. Oh. Hmm? Somebody doesn't want to sleep. You go sleep. Yeah? Close the door. Mm. It's a Friday after all. A very slow market. Oh, come on, man. I might I might close the live at, might leave the live and go do my stuff because, wow, I can't deal with such a slow market. Yeah, still good aggressive move to the upside. Looking for Mamelodi Sundowns game. Sundowns is playing today. So I'm just checking where it's playing. Found it. It closed below this low. It closed below, leaving a fair value gap to close below the low. This low, like something like, I will move my stop loss to that low. That reduce half of the risk and hoping it starts moving lower. Because this, it's acting now as a supply. So I want it to close below the supply area there. A closure below that supply, leaving a fair value gap, I'm gonna totally risk half. Basically, it's more like closing half of that position that I have. I want it to fully close below the sub. If it closes like this, de-risk half of my positions. Basically, it's more like half of my position will be gone. Just a close below that supply. Yes. Go to sleep, Nana. Come here. Yes, come. Come here. Malata, come. I'll trumpet to open for you. Come on, man. Do it. Do it. Ah, we're fully fade below here. I'm gonna move my stop loss to this low. So in other words, half of the risk is gone now. Can we continue lower? If we do, I'm gonna just continue scaling out. Left that favor gap. Uh, breaker. Oh, come on. To be fair, but moving to my stop loss to break even, that would be too aggressive. That would be very aggressive. But let me do it. Stop loss at break even, guys. Not looking to end to hold this trade. It's on a breaker. If it takes me out, oh shucks, break even. Yeah, break even. I did the break even. I just didn't want it to come back all the way to that. There is spread, so no. Look, if I entered at the right, no, yeah, break even. Because at first I wanted to enter there, still will be a break even point. Reason being, I started using this lows because now we have a breaker, we have a demand that is violated, we have a breaker. I just don't want it to continue. I wanted it to hold that support and go lower. For it continuing, it's not a good thing for me. So I'm good with a break even. It might flash back to my direction, but I don't mind. So with that being said, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you on Monday. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join me. So it's been a good week for me on the trading side. Good trade management overall. So and that